Top 10 countries with largest Muslim population in 2023. Number 10. Algeria. With 43 million Muslims account for approximately 98% of Algeria's population. And Sunni Muslims vastly dominate. Between the years 670 and 711 AD, Islam spread throughout Algeria. The area was gradually conquered by the Umayyad dynasty. Because of this, the native population was quickly converted to Islam, while Christian communities and true believers of their traditional religion continued to exist in massive numbers until the 11th century, when Islam dominated. Number 9. Sudan. Sudan has a population of 48 million people in 2023, with 97% of them being Muslims. Sudan was largely Coptic Christian before the Islamic domination. Islam arrived in the 7th century through contact between Arab traders and Nubians, but the population remained predominantly Christian until the kingdoms fell apart. In 1504, the area was conquered by the Muslim Fung Sultanate. That is how they became Muslims by law. Sudan was then declared a secular state, putting an end to 30 years of Islamic rule, and making Islam as the official state religion. Number 8. Turkey. Turkey has a Muslim population of 82 million Muslims. During the First World War and the establishment of the modern Turkish state, all of Turkey was ruled by Muslims. Following the war, there were large-scale forced migrations, resulting in Christians becoming refugees in neighboring countries and Muslims becoming refugees in Turkey. So Turkey became overwhelmingly Muslim. Muslims account for 99.8% of the total population, and the vast majority of them are Sunni Muslims. However, some surveys report varying numbers of Muslims as low as 82% of the population, but even at the low end, Turkey would have about 68 million Muslims, putting it in 8th place. Number 7. Iran. Iran is home to 86.4 million Muslims. Islam arrived in Iran in the 7th century, and the majority of Iranians converted to Islam in the centuries that followed. It was predominantly Sunni Muslim until the Safawi dynasty's rule in the 16th century, when the population was converted to Shia Islam. Iran now has a population of around 86.7 million people, 99.6% of whom are Muslim. However, some Iranians believe that Iran is not as religious as the government makes it look like. According to reports, many people there are atheists, and some even practice other religions. They are, however, afraid to admit it because of the government. Number 6. Egypt. Egypt has a Muslim population of 97 million. The Islamic conquest of Egypt occurred between 639 and 646 AD, during the first caliphate following the Prophet Muhammad. Many Egyptians remained Coptic Christians, but the majority of the population gradually converted to Islam over the next centuries. Egypt's population is estimated to be close to 108 million, making it the world's 15th most populous country. 90% of the population is Muslim, with Sunni Muslims constituting the vast majority. Number 5. Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa with an estimated 225 million people, and has approximately 120.4 million Muslims. An estimated 53% of the population is Muslim. In the 11th century, Islam was introduced to northeastern Nigeria. Muslim traders brought Islam through the trade routes from North Africa. Aside from Islam, 45.9% of the population is Christian and 0.6% follow other religions, primarily traditional African religions. The Constitution of Nigeria guarantees religious freedom. Number 4. Bangladesh. Bangladesh has approximately 146 million Muslims and is located in South Asia on the Bay of Bengal. With a population of 165 million people, 88% of whom are Muslim, it is a very densely populated country. In the 9th century, Arab traders brought Islam to Bangladesh. However, it was under Muslim rule for the first time in the 13th century. Under a number of Muslim rulers, the majority of the population gradually converted to Islam until the British took control of the Indian subcontinent, which included Bangladesh. but after achieving independence it remained Muslim. Number 3. India. There is no Muslim majority in India. Only 14% of the population is Muslim, with the rest being Hindu. However, because India has a population of 1.4 billion people, it has 197.3 million Muslims. In the 7th century AD, Islam arrived on the Indian subcontinent via coastal trading routes and spread throughout the 12th century AD. At one point, Muslims ruled over all of India. Muslims made up 10% of the population after India and Pakistan were partitioned in 1947, but that figure has risen due to a higher birth rate among Indian Muslims. Number 2. Pakistan. Out of Pakistan's nearly 243 million people, around 96.5% are Muslim. The majority of them are Sunni Muslims, but 10% practice Shia Islam. As with India, Islam arrived in Pakistan through coastal trading routes in the mid-7th century. Before the partition they were the same country. It's worth noting that if Bangladesh was still a part of Pakistan today, the two countries would have by far the largest Muslim populations. Number 1. Indonesia. Indonesia is the fourth most populous country with over 277 million people. In Indonesia, Muslims account for 86.7% of the population, or 240 million people. Around 99% of them are Sunni, and the remaining 37 million Indonesians are Christian or Hindu, and less than 1% are Buddhist. One of the points in Indonesia's foundational philosophy is to believe in God. However, it makes no mention of Islam. It also applies to Indonesia's other religions.